Well, I wasn't ready for that to happen, but it was cool that I got a bit of it. Anyway, so here we are again with the Johnny Bucket installation, and it has taken me about a week to figure out the mounting, and I'm pretty happy with the end results here, or soon to be end results. Right now this is a mock-up of how it's going to look, and that's the bracket that I did for it. We're going to go through all this. So basically, I'm at the stage right now where the wires need to be lengthened, especially for the power wires, which are very short. The regular wire packs are a little bit longer, but I might need to lengthen those. But until I figured out the mounting point, I wasn't sure what length to do. So I settled on the left-hand side, since I'm right-handed and there's enough going on with my right hand and right foot on the other side. Left hand's not doing much, and you can rest your hand comfortably on here, so that takes most of the weight, and then you'll be able to run the joystick just like that. So this is basically a tablet mount. It's a hobby box that I got from Johnny Bucket, and a tablet mount that is very strong, so you can definitely see that the base is good on it. However, when finally bending it into position, I forgot to reinforce this part with my hand, because this is super hard to bend on it, and I cracked a little plastic piece on it, so I wound up tie wrapping it. I have another one on order, and I'm just going to reinforce that from the get-go. Other than that, you have 4 metric 5 M5 screws, or bolts rather, holding it down through a plate. And if we come underneath here, I can show you. Basically, I made a reinforcement plate for the other side, so there is metal behind it, unlike the cup holder. So it's metal, and 1 layer of plastic. So it's a 3-layer sandwich holding everything together. And at the end, I'm going to cut down those bolts a little bit, and also paint everything black, like retouch it, which is exactly what I did up here. I retouched the bolts. You can imagine how much fun I had getting that bottom nut in there, working with 2 tiny 8mm wrenches. But that'll keep the rust off of it. In retrospect, I kind of wish I would have gone with a satin black, but such is life. This is a 1/2 inch. This is basically just a mock-up that I have right now, just to show you like how it's going to look. Little macro photography there. And I wound up doing a grommet through here, but I'm probably gonna have to lose that, and we're just gonna have to go with the bare hole, because the wire pack that you're dealing with is gonna be an awful lot of wires. And in addition to that, there's gonna be switches. Let's see if I can put the box back up here for visuals. Basically the joystick, which is here, is gonna get mounted into the upper quadrant, up into this area, so it's comfortable for your hand to work it. And then there'll be a series of switches here, where basically one will be the sleeve control, and there's also going to be a lockout button, so you can turn the sleeve off. That way, if you're towing a trailer with it, the sleeve doesn't accidentally go into motion. And I may do a lockout for the loader as well. So beyond that, haven't hit too many snags, but this took quite a bit of time to figure this out, but I'm pretty happy with it. The other thing that's going to be going into the control box is going to be this wire that's going to be fed underneath through the seat, coming back up through here. Is going to be a switch for a 12-volt outlet, which unfortunately these plugs that I bought for it are not ideal, so I'll get some better rubber plugs. But this will be double-sided tape down here, and that will give you a place right up on the control box when it's up here to enable and disable this outlet, which is going to be useful for pulling the sprayer. It means you'll be able to turn off the sprayer right from the controls, instead of dealing with reaching back and trying to find that little switch that's on the leader. So that's how we're going to be looking. So the only thing left to do now is basically bundle the wires, make the extensions, and put everything in where it needs to go, and it should be operational. I did come across a little bit of surface rust. You can see down there. So I'm going to have to be sanding that up, and I've got some touch-up paint coming, so I want to fix that before I put the rubber mats back in, which are right over there. So that's just a little quick sit rep. Want to let you see how we're coming. Going to be using that 1/2 inch wrap on the regular wires though, so that's final here. I thought that would be fun to kind of wrap them in yellow, and sadly the bucket is already rusting just from a couple of days. So when I'm done banging this thing up with the jobs we're going to be doing, this is also going to be painted Cub Cadet yellow, probably the bracket and the bucket, and that'll kind of make the whole thing pop with the yellow accents on it. So that's where we are right now. I think this is a pretty good location to mount it, and it's not a bad way to do it for other tractors as well. If you notice, I didn't cause any harm to the tractor as far as I didn't lose any compartments, so this cup holder is still working. This really had no function up here. It was just a little shelf, so it was a perfect spot for it, and lucky we found metal. So overall, I'd say it's pretty good so far. A couple of snags, and I'd say in a couple of days we should have this thing wrapped together and in working operation. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you when this thing is finished. Happy trails.